Alright, so yesterday we added another level to our order of operations. Currently our strategy has 4 steps. First, we have to get rid of all the exponents of the small floating numbers that we saw. Second, and then from there we do the 3 steps that you copied. Look for your first multiplication or division in line. This means keep looking for the first multiplication or division in line until they're gone, and then work it out as usual from front to back. So everything is kind of building. I sincerely hope you've been practicing for improvement and that is starting to kick in. Just be sure not to allow the frustration of making mistakes to convince you to stop trying. Our focus today is in working with variables. Because we are in algebra, it's important we try our best to start working with those as much as possible so you get used to them. So let's look at some practice examples real fast, and then let's get to your part, and then let's move on. So it says simplify t to the third when t is 6. Again, t is 6. So we put parentheses 6, we close it, and then we put the 3 out there. Remember that the only thing that goes in parentheses is the number that actually represents. This means I want 6 to the third, which is 6 3 times, which means I do 36 times 6. And I have to do 36 times 6 off to the side because I don't know what it is. That would be 36, carry the 3. 6 times 3 is 18 plus 3, which is 21. 216 would be my answer. Alright. Notice I did 2 levels of scratch work. I saw 6 to the third. I took it off to the side. I said, hey, I don't know what that is. I took it off to the side again. Once I got my answer, I knew that's where it belonged. Use your scratch work. Use your space. Don't try to put everything together all in one spot. It doesn't work out. Simplify 5m squared when m is 7. So 5 parentheses 7 squared is what we're looking at. Keep in mind, this is not 5 times 7 with a parentheses. This is times. That's an exponent. We can't do anything until that exponent's gone. So what we need to do is figure out what 7 squared is. 7 squared means 7 times 7, which is 49. So that turns into 5 times 49. I don't know what 5 times 49 is, so I take it off to the side and work it out. 5 times 9 is 45. That's 20 plus 4, which is 24. 245 is my final answer. It's not bad, but it does take some work. And again, that's what last week was about, was getting you to the ground level so you can understand the steps and the rewriting, but now it's getting to the point to where you got to be careful. Here, when you substitute 4, I see a t, so I put a 2 in its place. Copy the 3, minus 2, there's a s, which is a 3. Copy the rest, and be careful. I can't do any work until all of my exponents are gone, so I'm going to get rid of this 2 to the third. Maybe, hopefully by now, you're figuring out 2 to the third is 8. You don't need to show this work if you know it's 8, but it is 8. So 4 parentheses 8, copy the rest. Can we start working on this yet? Nope, because there's another exponent here. So we copy everything that's there. 3 squared means 3 times 3, which is 9. Now we can do what we need to do, which is we have a line of work that we simply look for multiplication or division. Here's multiplication. 4 times 8 is 32. Looking at this, I have multiplication here. So 32 minus, that would be 18, plus 1. And now I'm working front to back. 32 minus 18, I don't know what it is. So guess what? I used the training that we worked on the week before. Can't do 2 minus 8. I can do 12 minus 8, which is 4. 2 minus 1 is 1. That's 14 plus 1. And 14 plus 1 is 15. It's a lot of exercise. It's a lot of exercise. But I want you to be aware of the fact that this is just making sure you're getting your process down. I think these are probably the hardest questions of the chapter overall, because they make you actually write the most, but it doesn't mean you can't do it. It just means you got to be patient. Same thing here. Actually, I'm not going to do this one because there's no need. That was already being done. Let's look at this one here. 5 times 2 to the third minus 6. Can't do anything with that, but again, we see an exponent. 2 to the third, I hope you understand, is 8, but if not, you can work it out to see that it's 8. 5 parentheses 8 minus 6. From there, 5 times 8 gets done first because it's stronger than subtraction. And 40 minus 6 is 34. That's your answer. 3 to the 6th. Well, that would be 6 threes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Grouping wise, I don't need to do just one. I can say there's 2 threes that make 9. I know that, so that'd be 9, 9, and 9. 9 times 9 is 81. And then 81 times 9 I'll do off to the side. That's 9, 72, 729 would be my final answer there. All right. So we need you to look at 3 quick questions, see how you do. Again, pause the video, check out A. You are going to have to do some work, but again, that's kind of getting us used to what we need to be doing. But go ahead and try the R to the 4th when R is equal to 5. Pause the video and then resume it when you're done. And I'll go ahead and start now. This would be 5 or 4 fives because it's 5 to, actually, I'm sorry. R to the 4th turns into parentheses 5 to the 4th because you have to substitute first. This means I'm going to do 4 fives. I can group up my 5s, or depending on how good you are with your multiplication, I'm going to go ahead and do my 5 times 5 first, which is 25, 5, and 5. 25 times 5 is 25, carry the 2, 10, 12, which is 125 times 5. And then I'm going to do 125 times 5, which is 25, carry the 2, 10, 12, carry the 1, 5, 6. 625 should be my answer there. You should notice, for those of you who like to use your sneak to use your calculator, there's no way to cheat your way through this without showing some sort of work. You have to show work on these things. There's really no shortcuts. That's why we wanted to make sure you got used to showing work last week, because this is really where it starts to kind of come together. 4y squared minus 2 and y is 3. So we need to, first off, pause this, try it out, and see how you do. And I'll go ahead and start now. Substituting first. Y is equal to 3, so we put in the 3. We can't do any work because we have this exponent in the way. So 3 squared means 3 times 3, which is 9. So we end up with this. Now we do 4 times 9, which is 36. And 36 minus 2, which is 34. Remember that multiplication is stronger than subtraction. It's definitely going to be done before any subtraction is done. And then, as I said, this is probably the toughest question on the test because of the amount of work it takes. But you at least get smaller numbers to deal with. Just check and see what you can do. So pause the video and go as far as you can. If you can only get 4 lines in, that's actually pretty good. But just try to make sure your first 4 lines match my 4 lines, or whatever you write matches what I write. But check it out, get as far as you can, and then resume the video. I'll go ahead and start that now. First thing we want to do is substitute. So 5 parentheses 3 plus 2 parentheses 3 squared minus 2 to the 3rd. Nothing but exponents, so we have to get rid of these exponents. 3 squared is 3 times 3, which is 9. So 5 parentheses 3 plus 2, that turns into 9. And then the rest of it gets copied. We have another exponent here, 2 to the 3rd. And again, if you haven't learned that 2 to the 3rd is 8, there's your proof. So 5 parentheses 3, 2 parentheses 9, and 8. Now we work it out in order. This is the first multiplication, so we work it out and copy the rest. This is the first multiplication, so we work it out and copy the rest. And then from there, front to back, because it's all addition and subtraction. I don't know what 15 plus 18 is, so I work it out. 13 carry the 1. 33 minus 8. And 33 minus 8, if you did the work, is 25. So once again, this is probably the hardest question on the whole thing. So if you don't get it, that's not going to kill you. Just make sure you're doing your best to keep getting better. Don't forget you have a quiz over everything that we worked on tomorrow. Be sure to use this work period to review for yourself and get assistance on things you still don't quite understand. Remember, again, practice makes permanent. Don't build up any bad habits that'll hurt you. Outside of that, I'll talk to you later, and good luck.